I sent you?
Yeah, I was. And we live.
Good evening, family. How y'all doing? My apologies for my 3 minutes late. Had some scammer business taking off, and I got hit. So let me tell y'all real quick, fam. Be real careful out here when people call or are you trying to do some things electronically, and then next thing you know, you got some other stuff going on. Cause I got hit, and it cost me some time, energy, and money. So just be careful out there. Um, run across some information, right? That was old information, but is very relevant. We have to be very, very clear that in our midst are persons who, and we talked about this before, but it's becoming more and more apparent that those persons who are desirous to be leaders are put in place for a reason. And they're put in place in order to make sure that the masses don't get what they desire, get what they deserve. And in being put in those places, those persons who get chosen to pick that position, they are put there as a panacea, a placebo. We're going to give you the sugar pill to make you give the perception that we're allowing everybody in when in fact we're not. Hey, you got the other piece I sent you by Dr. Claude Anderson?
That's what I'm going through. Right
okay. Now. I think you might, if you got that one might be, but that one's long.
No, that's what I'm trying to
go. Okay.
I'm just sharing this out
right now. Okay. Because we got a couple of pieces that are going to take some time, but they're important to watch. Number one, if you get an opportunity to, Dr. Claude Anderson's book, Powernomics, is very important. And that's going to be part of our book club, because I don't want to take 3, 4, 5 months in reading a book, even though some of them are very in depth. But his book is one of the ones that we're going to add to our book club list, whether we do Conspiracy Tuesdays or whether we do Black Watch, either one. I'll probably switch them up, knowing me. 1 week it'll be this and the next week it'll be that, just to kind of keep it up, or mix it up and keep it kind of interesting. But he talks about how in the culture, in the Constitution,
and only with Black folk do people get upset.
Is this it? No, you good.
That's the one you want, the first one or the second?
I think the one with Stokely Carmichael is shorter. Yeah, because Dr. Claude Anderson is about 10 minutes. But I want people to go look at that. And then when we come back next Tuesday, I want us to have a discussion on that. There's one by Dr. and I think you can share. Can you share it so people can see it?
Yeah, and I'm trying to find. I'm still going through. You sent me a couple of them. Yeah, I'm gonna share it to you.
Okay. So Uncle Mick is going to share this particular video by Dr. Claude Anderson.
Oh, you want the Dr. The Stokely Carmichael?
No, so let's do Stokely. That's the one I want to talk about today.
Okay.
But then the one I want to share that we're going to have a deeper discussion on next week is by the one by Dr. Claude Anderson. You got to get his book. It's called Powernomics. And it shows, he clearly lays out why our communities are the way that they are. If you're a minority, you're in a, he shows us clearly what they've done, and he even talks about historical things that have happened. As much people want to say that we're all included in the Constitution, no, we're not. The Dred Scott decision shows it. The school system shows it, because like he said in the video, if you get it and watch it, you don't have white people trying to run to your schools, but we have black people running to their schools. What are they doing any differently? Yeah, that's the one. Okay. What are we doing any differently in our schools that are majority black? What are we doing differently that that we should have? We're talking about this integration idea that we should have white kids at our school too. And now I'm not talking about a sprinkle. I'm talking about a nice amount in the population. Because even at the school that I teach at, there's a sprinkle. When if we're talking about integration, there should be minimally half. But that's not how integration works. Integration only works one way. And as Dr. Claude Anderson says, they keep 100% of their money. And now he's even raised the percentage that we give, 98%. That means we're only operating on 2% of our money, of our income. Because 98% of it we give away. So they're operating in the world on 198% of the income in the United States. 100% of theirs and 98% of ours. But I'm thinking that he also including other minority groups, because we go to Chinese stores, Chinese food stores, we go to Korean stores to get hair. So those persons, I'm believing, because at one time it was 95% that we gave to European people, because most of the, if you rent, it's not typically going to be black folks. If you have a mortgage, it's typically not a black-owned mortgage company. If you have your insurance, you get, hey family, how y'all doing? If you have your insurance, it's typically not a black-owned insurance company. Even though you might have a black agent, because I try and definitely have a black agent, but I know that the majority of my money is not going to that person, it's going to the company, and they get their cut. And that's one of the main reasons why integration it killed us. Integration killed us. Because we gave everything that we had away. Schools, where we were the principal to the teacher, to the janitor, to the gym teacher, and everything else. And then when the decision was made that we could go to other schools and abandon our community, this is what we got. And now we got a few kids, and we got schools being deemed as horrible schools, and the lack of learning because they don't put the resources in. We got kids that think it's okay to be out of control because I'm black and they black and whatever. But if they go to a white school and see a white teacher, it's completely different. I've seen this from my eyes over 30 years. I mean, been in the school systems for 30 years, whether it be one place or another. The one school that performed the best in the country, and this was in the 60s, and is now closed, was called Paul Laurence Dunbar High School. I want to say it was in Washington, D.C. At one time, because of the staff and because of how people valued education, and that's another issue, how people valued education, and this is clearly a conspiracy. The conspiracy to conform. And then you put people in place, and we're going to see this clip with Kwame Ture. At that time, it was Stokely Carmichael. He was a member of SNCC and CORE. And you're also going to see the person that he was debating and how their position was, take your time, everything's going to be okay. Because you clearly see, and he's a minister, so you can clearly see the position that he's taking versus the one that says, hey, that's enough waiting. There should be no more waiting. We clearly have to do something different. If integration really worked, Paul Laurence Dunbar High School scored over 92% higher than any school in the nation, and it was all black. And because of integration, the school got eventually shut down, closed down, because you can take your people and the kids could go somewhere else and everybody could go somewhere else, and you no longer had to worry about being at this school. And not that it got ran down, it just you pulled resources. So now it's a shell of itself. If integration was so great, then when you go to Detroit, why do you still see the burned up buildings and the husk of buildings from what happened in the riots in 1967? It's still right there on parts of Woodward and 6 Mile.
Wow. And how long ago was that?
67. 1967. So we're talking about 60-something years now, 70 years ago. 70, 67. My sister would have been, wait a minute, hold on. Because she found out, even though she's not living, that I told her to everybody she was 70 years old and she younger than me. It's going to be a problem. Okay. So 67, I'm 62. And I was born in 63. So that's 4 years from there. So 58 years. Yeah, 58 years ago. But they still left them there. As a reminder, this is what you do to your community. You do this to your community. The National Guard makes sure that you don't leave this community. You can do what you want to your community, but you're not going to come out to Bloomfield or Farmington or Dearborn and do any of that.
58 years.
58 years. Okay, thank you very much.
Yep, 58 years. Terrible.
Yeah.
1967 to 2025, 58 years.
Yeah. So the buildings are still there. If you go down 6 Mile, McNichols, once you cross Woodward, they're in that area. Like if you go down, I want to say Van Dyke, from 8 Mile on, it looks like a war zone. But right after 8 Mile, perfect, because now you're in another part of the city. That's on Van Dyke. I used to teach there. So if this system worked so well for us, because we were sold out into the system, because we wanted to sit there and have dinner with people that don't like you, and hold hands and sing Kumbaya and that bullshit. Make it make sense that we've lost more, where the money at that time stayed in our community. It didn't leave because nobody wanted it. Now, I don't care if people knew you didn't have anything to do with the burning and destruction of the towns that we had before that were self-sufficient. You still, even now, and I'm not talking about anybody, I'm talking about the group, you still benefit from the fact that that happened to us, to our ancestors. There's a lake in Georgia called Lake Lanier that if you decide to go swimming in the lake and you look down in the lake, you can see the former buildings that were there when they flooded in 1910. It's called Oscarville. Now over the top of it is a recreational lake called Lake Lanier. All because somebody supposedly said something to a white woman.
I mean, well, they still use, they gonna still use that
Right.
trick.
Right. Well,
Still to
look at
this
your
day.
boy,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
former
yeah.
Michigan coach.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. And you was messing around with this person, and now you lost everything.
yeah.
Bro, say this, and I don't know. I don't care. If I'm doing this and I make this type of something happen and miraculously, bro, hey, where you want to move the station to? Load it up with equipment. Oh, we coming over your house? No, you're not. Ain't nobody coming over my house.
Right.
No, my dogs will be running free. Come up in there if you want to. I'll gate the whole house in and never leave, other than come and do a show, turn around, go right back. Hey, hey, I think I like you. No, you don't. Bye. I don't like you. I'm out of here.
But how do we fix that problem? That's the see. We see, how do you fix it? Because you're not finna change.
No, they're not going to. The system's not going to change.
Right.
What we have to do is be very clear that within the law. So we had 300 and some years of slavery.
Mhm.
Then you had 100 years of Jim Crow. You had 100 years of segregation, and you still got police killings that have been going on for the last forever.
Mhm.
During all of those times. At what point in time are these so-called leaders, because they're liars?
Facts.
But see, we won't hold them accountable because we've taken a position that it's okay for them to lead, and we won't ever challenge them. Black Lives Matter's trash. I'm sorry, because what it started out being and what it is now is not what it was, because they get co-opted.
Right.
It got co-opted. When Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois started the Niagara movement, yes, he had white people and Jewish white people. Spring Iron was the one who financed the Niagara movement. But when he wrote Soul of Black Folks in 1904, he left the country with his wife. He died in Ghana because he said America's never going to change.
Oh, you can, and I think that's what we keep. That's what I do hate. Like, we gonna keep fooling the people saying it's gonna change.
That's never going to change.
Right.
It was born in blood. It was born even in Boston Tea Party. The colonizers dressed in Native American garb in order to fool the British when they went on the ships to dump the tea out. They got off the ships after they dumped the tea out, and the British attacked the other groups that was there. They've been playing this game the whole time. They always broke treaties. And then when you watch Dr. Claude Anderson, this is something I had an inkling of, but he confirmed it. Dr. Claude Anderson says that they made part of the treaties that they created with the Native American groups was that you still had to uphold slavery. You had to be a slave catcher. And as long as you did that, we wouldn't kill you.
See, but they because they don't want to tell, like, you hit like history. You should his history.
That's right. It's his story.
Yeah, his story, because he's not giving you the truth.
No,
story.
why would he? Why would just
Right.
like once again, we're complaining about this president.
No.
And I would like Trevor show this morning. He was on point with all of the stuff. I was tripping about that dumbass ship he's trying to make, because
Right.
you have to have nuclear power in order to run all of that. And he's just there's something wrong with him. But this is who you put in place.
Right.
You put this person in place in order to continue the agenda.
Right.
That's what you did. You put him in place to continue the agenda.
Right.
And people are, well, we're powerless. No, we're not. But if you conform and go along with it, then you're conforming to what he's doing.
Right.
So even in Congress, right? You're talking now, you supposedly have enough people to start the impeachment process. But if you got money behind them, they're not going to do it because it's about money.
Right.
Because it's about money. It's nothing about anything else.
Because you got to understand, you don't think them judges on the payroll, you don't think them senators on the payroll, they get.
Go ahead. Go with it. Go with it.
They can have stuff. They'll mess around, throw a case on you.
Right. I'm quite sure eventually somebody gonna try some bullshit with me. I know they try some shit with you.
Oh yeah, they gonna do it because they be saying, you know why? Because they think the gullibleness. What they think? What you think they say? Give them,
Well,
give them some money and some women.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the playbook.
Yeah, all the time.
The playbook.
I can't imagine going. We can go hang out, and here comes somebody. You think I'm not gonna watch who this person is?
Oh, I do all the time.
Yeah.
If you
But you
making
know what I'm
noise.
saying? I can go on any other time, don't nobody say nothing to me. And then all of a sudden, here you come. Oh, I found you attractive. Okay. Who are you? What do you want? And what's your agenda? Because I will find out. But this is what they done. This is you. Well, you know, you don't want to be broke. So here, take some money. No, you're no longer broke, but you compromise now. And then you people running around here, whoever running around here like they really doing something. No, you're not. You're a sellout. Because if you're really going to be what you say that you are, you're fighting on all facets, all fronts, and nobody can sit there and say, I bought you. There's a price for everybody. I ain't mad about that.
Yeah.
But then what does that mean? So then when you look in the mirror and you look at God in the mirror, and then you got to answer, was that price worth it? And some people it is.
Yeah. But it's a lot of them who lost their religion. They ain't believing. They God is that being
the dollar. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I can travel, if I can go here and do this and do stuff that I wasn't doing before, damn man, I'm with it. I don't care nothing about, well, oh yeah, I'm at every photo op. But no, hell no. I ain't trying to be at every photo op.
Right. No, I agree with you. So you saying the activism is, I mean, but when like I said, if you go read that book, Jordan Sheridan book, We the Poison.
Yeah, I got it.
Deep.
I disagree with some of the historical narrative that he tried to say, but other than that, he was on point.
The part that I agree with when he said our activists and our council, I might not say it verbatim, how they go in with the people who got the money.
Yeah.
And then they come out with a different attitude.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I do believe that because, like I say, with me just now, probably the last 3 years, 4 years, really, you know, just from being just from recording, but just able to sit back and see how the games people play.
Yeah.
And then the stories that you've been and heard, you'd be like, damn, so, you know, y'all been doing, you know what I'm saying? Been playing this game.
We've been playing this game. This game has been, so when we look at this clip comes from 1967. Okay. So you'll see how he's speaking and then how this other person, you already know that the person he's quote unquote debating is a sellout. Go ahead and run the clip, bro.
I got you.
The only way you counteract institutional racism is to build power inside your community to counteract it. You cannot counteract it through individual approaches. That means that the knowledge that you acquire here, you must bring back to the Black community to benefit that community instead of going to work for IBM, General Motors, or Gulf Oil, or some corporation like that that does not begin to benefit Black people, only benefits you and this country, because it helps to perpetuate the lies about a democracy. So that's, I think, one of the major differences between Black power and what they call integration. And it's so-called integration because if you knew anything about integration, you would know it's a two-way stream. It's a two-way stream. And I haven't seen any white people fighting to get into your schools from Georgia. I haven't seen any in Mississippi fighting to go. So what they're doing is draining from our communities the best that we have. Because you know, in order to go to their schools, we got to send the best representative we have. So they take the very best from our schools and send them over there to sit with their uncivilized children. Their parents throw bricks and bottles at us so we can walk through and sit next to them. Later for the white community, let them civilize themselves. We've got our own problems. That's what you're. In the city of Atlanta, we have advocated a political program in terms of independent politics. The population of this city is 40% Black, adult. We can control this city if Black people had guts, we would come together and independently organize that force, that 40% force. And while white people were fighting between the Democrat and Republican Party, we would take over the city lock, stock, and barrel. That's black power. That's black power. You ought to recognize how the city lies. When, what's the big-headed fellow's name? Maddox. When Maddox ran against the progressive racist who's now mayor of this city, Ivan Allen, Maddox received more votes in the white community than did Allen. Do you know that? And the Negro leadership of this town told black people to vote for Allen. And it is our votes that put Allen into office. And you call this a progressive town where most of the white people voted for Maddox. And the very first thing that Allen did was to move us out from the Boulevard section and build $1 million stadium, and didn't even worry to find houses for us. That's because we are not organized as an independent force to stop the abuses of power that is penetrated upon us. And if we're about to stop them, we must organize ourselves independently.
You back on.
Okay. So very clearly, you see that this happened in 1967. He was having this debate, and we're going to continue it. But I want to point out something real quick. Okay. He said that when their mayor got in charge and he was black, the first thing he did was he moved, and this is what Sister Yogi G talked about that's going on in Washington, D.C. right now. This is 67, 58 years later, that they're talking about building a $1 billion stadium for the Washington Commanders. That Trump is talking about, he wants to put his name on, but they're moving people out of the community. That's exactly what Trump did when he built Trump Towers. He bought people out of the community, didn't even pay them for what they said that he was going to pay them. Okay, didn't pay them what he said he was going to pay them. There's one older lady that refused to sell, and so he built the buildings around her house. And then when she passed away, her family gave her the house. I don't know whether it's still there or not, but the family sold the house to him. And now Trump Towers is defunct. Trump University is dead. But this is the same thing that Stokely Carmichael, this was before it became Kwame Ture, was talking about, how somebody gets in a position and they sell people out, right? Our children and us as adults, I'm not even talking about kids, because you gotta let kids be kids, whatever. But the focus of what our education should be is coming back, solving a problem. So if you go to school and I see that we need an infrastructure situation, or I'm studying political science. I'm studying political science so I can come back here and fix my community. If I'm studying medicine, I'm coming back so I can help solve problems in my community. You're going to get the car and the house and all the other stuff by the work that you put in. But what are you studying for? Are you studying to become part of the hospital, to make rounds and make millions of dollars? Or are you coming back to solve a problem? See, there's one other thing that we miss is many people that come over here from other countries, they'll eventually go back home. They'll come and take the knowledge, make money off people, and then turn around and go back home. I know a lot of people that come from the continent that what they'll do is they'll come, they'll learn, and they'll go back home. If you go to Cuba, you can go, and right now, if I decided, okay, you know what, I don't want to teach no more, fuck this shit, I can go to Cuba. Sorry, y'all. I can go to Cuba in 3 years, because I have what I have and know what I know, get a medical degree. But then for 3 more years, I owe them 3 years of helping the community there. And that's something that Fidel Castro put in place. What Ibrahim Traore is talking about doing is keeping our resources, building up the infrastructure of our country. That's the same thing Gaddafi was talking about doing, was building a United States of Africa. That's something that started in 1964, and Malcolm was part of it. And what he did was came back and started the OAAU, the Organization of African American Unity. We got that from what they were doing in the 60s that came from Dr. Du Bois and the work that he put in, because you don't get Kwame Nkrumah, you don't get Jomo Kenyatta, you don't get Sekou Toure, and later on you don't get Thomas Sankara, and you don't get Ibrahim Traore unless you have Dr. W. Du Bois, who lays out the Pan-African idea that he got from Martin Delany. So what are we doing sitting here? How do we build community? Well, we're so beat up there and so infatuated with giving our money away to white folks that what we do is 98% of our money we give away to somebody else. And the 2% that we spend with the people within our community is trustless money. And what we do is, if we go to let's say your wife decide she's gonna start a small eatery, we should be knocking down her door to make sure that y'all can eat. But we get in our feelings the very first time that somebody have an attitude or whatever, and then what do? Well, fuck it, I ain't going there no more. And we bash the place.
Your little eatery. Remember, they're going to put little on there.
Wait a minute. Where is that at?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's what we do. Yeah, I just came there with your little eatery, and then so therefore I ain't going back. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. Why would you not go back?
Yeah.
But how can I help you improve your service?
Right.
That's what you really should do. Because if your wife goes to, you're going to beat me up for that. If your wife goes to school and she goes to the Cordon Bleu and she comes back and she wants to cook these types of food, we should support her. Like where's that? The Good Soul or Soul Food place on Fenn Road. I'm guilty of not being there. I have a very busy schedule. I'm not just laying around chilling out. The place downtown, Levels, but it's run by somebody else, even though it's a black face there. There's somebody else today. Not a problem. Have I been down there? No, I passed it, but I haven't been down there. It's not by design. It's because I'm very, very busy.
And shout out to the owners. That's Dinkton with Levels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And the brother that owned What's Next that passed away. Hey, man, prayers to you and your family.
Yeah.
Big Red. Prayers to you and your family. Right. But they started things that kind of petered out because you let an element of people come in there that say they turned it into something else.
Right.
I'm glad what Levels is doing. Say, you can't come in here. Go somewhere else. This is for a specific crowd. Mm-hmm. Because you don't have dumb stuff that happens when we had 18 day. But I still blame that on people not checking the young people before they left the house. Because if you pay attention, they're going to tell you that they're up to shit. And then also blame the people that was there who didn't check them about their, hey, look, we down here enjoying ourselves, having fun. Don't come down here with that shit. Because we're not communicating with each other. That's first and foremost how you build community. Whoever's doing something, I want to know. Right? If you're making necklaces, if you're doing this, you building wood and stuff, you doing that, I want to know so we can help.
But really, you know what? You got, but it goes back. We got to go back to the elders. Got to take some accountability.
Absolutely.
Even my generation, ones up under us, because look how they see we acting.
Yeah. So how they act this way or whatever.
Yeah.
But that goes back to accountability. I don't care what nobody says. In my 62 wonderful years of walking the earth, nobody's ever, man, we saw you acting the damn fool. No, the fuck you didn't. I may laugh and joke, but you're not going to see me being destructive. I may go somewhere and take a drink. The drink's so light that you might as well be water. But what you're not going to do is see me carry myself out of who I am.
Fine.
Even when I go on a trip, there's a vacation. It's always I'm working because I've been away, and what do? I bring my computer and we'll go do a show, and I'm going somewhere, enjoying myself, having fun, getting a break before we can put this work in.
Right.
And I'm not saying other people can't do it, but at the same time, what work are you putting in?
Right about that. Because all the stuff, all everything, I'm gonna call the crisis as Flint got. Man, our activists gonna be running wild.
Man, listen,
Too much work.
because they're not serious about the work.
Right.
If you're serious about the work, it would be there will on Saturday somewhere. There's 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 of us sitting down planning to correct some things.
Yeah.
But everybody want to have, as the old folks would say, a pissing contest.
Yeah.
I can be farther than you. I don't care if you can be farther than me. Just don't get my shoes wet.
Facts.
But let's figure out what it is that we're trying to solve.
Yeah, cause
And people don't have a clue because they're not studying anything.
yeah, cause how you gonna force this government? And I'm talking about the government, just the government of Michigan, the governor. How you gonna force them to do right when they see how y'all like see us? I ain't gonna say y'all see us fighting each other.
Right.
You can't get them to fix this wider thing here until like how can some people you're not all on the same page?
Not
and
on the
love.
same.
They
And
love
that's
that.
what's required in order to force things to change. Right. So, and I'm digging myself a hole. And no, I did not get to write the letter. And I promise you, we're gonna get it. The first issue of the propaganda is coming. Right. I'm working on it. Just I had some crazy stuff happen today with some scam stuff that I had to go get taken care of because they took money that I didn't allocate to something. But to Concrete Jungle's point, if it wasn't for what Haiti does, number one. Haiti started a revolution. It's number one. Young people, young men and women during the period of warfare on us who are fighting against warfare. So you get David Walker, you get Martin Delaney, you get Denmark Vesey, you get Gabriel Prosser, you get Nat Turner. And you see the justice against them was very, very, very hard and harsh. Because I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm going to teach y'all a lesson. So every time we had a person who rose up against the system, what you do? You execute them. You execute them. Every single time. And you do it publicly. And there's no apology for it. And they don't care. We destroy your towns and we're not apologizing for it. Because the excuse that folks use that are in power is that what happened then. It's still happening.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't have anything to do with it, but you're benefiting from it. The woman who was 111 years old from Tulsa was desiring to see in her life something happen for what happened, and she passed away, and still nothing's gonna happen. But people do shit posthumously. Oh, 45, 50 years, 100 years, 200 years later. It's like the little young man, the 14 years old, that they put in the electric chair for nothing. And then they want to pardon him. What the fuck does that mean? It means nothing.
I guess. Oh, my goodness. You're right on that. I mean, oh, my goodness.
14 years old.
Yeah.
You walk him into an electric chair. He has no clue what's going on. And you strap him in, you pull the switch, and you execute him. And then that was 1946. And then 100-something years later, almost 200 years later, you want to, well, we apologize to his family.
But took his life.
You took his life for nothing. The number of men that were accused of doing something that you took their lives.
No, let's go back. Because I know on the next show did you watch the Dave Chappelle show?
I haven't watched the whole what's name yet. I gotta watch it.
But
I am.
I think he did watch. I think he did watch some of the shows we talked about.
Yeah.
Because remember when we first started?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Did I ever bring up Jack Johnson?
You all the time. You bring him up all the time.
And people not understanding what's going on.
They don't want to know.
Yeah, they don't.
Because we're comfortable in our oppression.
Facts. People don't. And I'm telling you, I got to watch it again. I'm on my second time watching it. I was just leaving the crib. Me and Witch is going to talk about it on the next show, family. So when we done, y'all tap right back in, because that's what we talking about. But people got to sit up here and look. But see, we want to act like everything is cool.
Because we can go places, and that's all, right?
Yeah.
We can go play. We can go to Stanford. We can go to MIT. We had Stanford and MIT with Tuskegee Normal Institute.
Mhm.
How the hell you think they built that university?
Mm.
They didn't build that university. Yes, yeah, we get it. Booker T. Washington did some stuff, and he might have laughed and joked about black people and how backward they are, but he got the money. You don't have Harlem without Booker T. Washington.
Facts.
You don't have all of Harlem.
I was just watching something with Booker T. Washington. They sent them to some black town that they had built, and Booker T, whether we like him or not on some of the things, but we got to understand they thinking, though. They was looking at how can we save the rest of us, because we ain't dealt with what they was dealing with.
No.
And I'm just gonna give you a hint. Remember me and you, and this was in the Dave Chappelle. So I'm not gonna bring it up, but me and brother Elliot been talking about this.
Yeah.
When Jack Johnson won that heavyweight championship, what happened that day?
Man, they had a riot where they murdered a bunch of people, and nobody's getting restitution for it. It's like we could do whatever. Let me tell you the reason why we can do whatever we want to you. Because you're not part of the fucking law. You're outside the law. And yes, I'm saying it harshly. It's not Sunday, so I can kind of get away with some stuff.
Right.
We're not part of the law. You're not written in the Constitution. You're not covered. White, rich, landowner men wrote the Constitution that did not include people that we consider to be that we owned, and it did not consider people that we consider to be indigenous savages. But in their treaties, we said, hey, look, as long as you make sure you catch black folks, you can enslave them. But if they get free, we want your help. And Native Americans participated in that shit. And white people that claim themselves to be Native Americans, that was a law written in 1937, I think, 36, that because they can consider themselves, they didn't have to show that they were 5% or 22% or 15% or 1%. They could just claim that, and they got money and get paid for it. So then when you go to these places that are supposed to be Native American, and we allowed you to have casinos, who they run by? White people that claim that they're Native American, but they're not. And the tribe only gets part of the money that they're supposed to get.
Right. I mean, that's just like when I was saying, like, what, earlier me and Trevor was because he'd call me around about 5 or 6. I usually hit him about 5 or 6 if we having a conversation about certain things we're gonna discuss. That's why I was looking at you, see, and when you was in the chat, that's what I was like, wow, when I was saying you break, because I didn't know nothing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, not a military man.
Right. Yeah.
Me, I just look at it from right and wrong.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
First of all, that ship that he's trying to build is not going to work. It's got way too much stuff in it. It doesn't have enough power to power all of that. But for you to be arrogant enough to say that this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to name this class after me, class of warships after me.
Yeah.
That's egotistical and egomaniacal.
But that's what
I don't know if that's a word, y'all.
But that's what the people voted for. See, and I'm gonna end up getting that clip for the next time when we come on, because I'm gonna bring that up. Where you see with Trump, and that's what me and Trevor, every time when I be telling me and him, we have a conversation. To me, Trump peeled back the onion of civility.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this country.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So then how do we correct that? How do we correct that? People not gonna like it.
I don't know how, to be honest with you, I don't know how you can correct someone. It was the way it was set up.
It's part of the system.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because people want to keep acting like, when I say you can go to your presidents from one, let's go with George Washington. You can go see races all the way back up.
Yeah.
They acting like that mind state has left. Why you think
still here?
Why you think that every 25 years they got to revote to see if we can keep voting?
If you can vote again, right? As African, so if we're part of the country's fabric, other than being used, abused, killed, and willed in any way they chose to, why they got to they got to go to Congress every 25 years to see to ratify you being able to vote. And here the thing is, you get people talking about I vote because of what my ancestors went through. Okay, that's fine, but you're more informed now.
Right.
You should be more ask more questions. You should be more informed about who and what you're voting for and what the agenda of the person is that you're voting for.
Right.
There's trees that have been knocked down for storms on Lynn Street. There's trees that have been knocked down from storms on Lippincott. They're still knocked down and in people's yard. Why? Because if our person was coming through seeing it, she'd have somebody come over and clear that up or cut the trees down.
Right.
If you're paying attention to the people that you claim that you guide, that you lead.
Or are you just paying attention to the class that you know that's going to support what they going to support you?
Absolutely.
Because that's really what it is. We just got to go be honest. When you see most of these council people, and this would really, and I'm gonna be honest, when it be the black ones, when they wars be down there 50-50, to me, they got it down there bend.
Right.
You don't see where you make just like this, because earlier we was having it was brought up when the lovely Highletter Martin brought it up when she said she can see a Latino winning in the third ward. Ain't that a shame? But we seen one did it once before.
But that's okay as long as they're responsible for the people that they.
But it wasn't.
Okay, well, see, then there's a problem. So then, what's the recourse?
No, guess who helped put them in there?
Oh.
I'm just, it was people behind it. Vote for him. He gonna be good.
Right, as usual.
Yeah, but they be good for their interests, not the interests of the people.
And that's
of
the
that
issue.
war. Yeah.
So then, what has to happen? Number one, racism is rampant, and it's woven within the flag and every other system in America.
Mm-hmm.
It's a white supremacist system. Let's be real clear. Number two, if we're going to solve our problems, we cannot be incumbent upon elected officials or people that claim that they're putting in work.
Right.
No, you got to go put in work whether people follow you or not.
Right.
You got to go and say, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to go and clean up. And if I get a couple people come and help me, I'm going to go clean up that house over there anyway. And you got to go do it. That man, I've been there, done that. Cut grass at places because people left or somebody died. And go. And I'm not patting myself on the back. Okay. I'm not patting myself on the back saying, well, I do this, you should do that. I don't give a damn what you do or don't do. This is who I am.
Right. That's what I don't say, like the stuff I go do, go take people, go.
That's what I'm saying.
Take them
that's
to go get water.
It's called being human.
Yeah. I don't tell. I don't really.
No, you don't tell about all the other stuff that you do because it's really, you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart.
Yeah.
But if you call yourself a leader, which you are, if you call yourself a leader, then you also have to, these are the things that you do. I'm not calling myself a leader. I'm a teacher, but I don't teach. Huh? No, that doesn't go. That doesn't correlate.
Right.
Doesn't go. That 2 + 2 is 0.
Right.
I'm a leader, but yet I'm not leading nobody nowhere, or I'm not pointing out problems, or be willing to ask the hard, harsh questions to say, hey, look. So we got about 7-8 minutes, right? Can we run a little bit more of that clip?
I got you. I'm gonna play it right now.
Okay, and we're gonna, end with a little bit more of this clip because I really want to kind of move it forward to see the responses of his opponent, right? Because his opponent gave some weak ass, church ass bullshit responses.
Oh, we get that
all the damn time.
Facts. I'm gonna play it for you. 1 second.
I guess we can stop and go on for questions. McNamara says
How about you? All right, if I can see some hands.
it is precisely because Dr. Du Bois recognized the humanity of mankind that he gave up on this damn country. It is precisely because he recognized that. And if you are to read Dr. Du Bois' writings after 1904, and you could even start with The Soul of Black Folk, which is 1904, 1905, and 1906, his collective of essays, it shows clearly that he begins to deviate from that conception. He was the man who helped to start the NAACP with the Niagara Convention and left the NAACP over the same ideological questions. It is clear in my mind, it is crystal clear in my mind that what white America wants and her Negro allies is to make black people the moral conscience of this country, and they have no right to do it. This country is immoral. White people made it immoral. It is their job to clean it up. We have to worry about ourselves for a change.
Mr. Carmichael doesn't threaten his case or anybody else's by saying that he wants to become immoral like other people too.
The clown I want.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that not the very thing that we're still dealing with? This is in 1967.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is in this system is we gave y'all freedom. We gave you to allow you to be part of. We gave the Civil Rights Act in 1964, Voters' Rights Act in 19. They voted for. They had to write a law that they gave you in 1967, 65. I'm sorry, that said you could vote now. But still are playing games with voting, with redlining and all this other stuff and everything else, and redistricting and everything else that they're doing.
They didn't say we was going. You got to work for it still.
We still got to work for it still. And then we're going to put people in front of you that you're going to get a chance to pick and choose from. See, so the other gentleman that you all see on your screen is one of those persons that was picked to go against Mr. Carmichael, Stokely Carmichael.
You know they gotta have that. You know they're gonna have one of them. They handlers they got to send out there.
They sent out their dog handler, and they thought the dog handler was going to be the one that make him conform. But because he's knowledgeable, he couldn't make them conform. He couldn't make them conform. So he ended up losing the debate, and eventually, there's more to this than what we have here. The other person had to concede and change his mind about how he saw and how he operated anymore. How he saw things and how he operated. But typically, if you have somebody who is running in an office or saying, I'm an activist, and it's fine. We need all hands on deck.
Yeah.
All hands on deck. Because if we're going to save our children, what did the brother say that we talked about a few weeks ago? We're losing the fight.
Yeah.
We're in a war that we're losing. And we figure talking to these people, talking to government officials, you put somebody in place to talk for you. The only thing you're doing is you being a puppet.
Fine. You see what
Martin Delaney?
Yeah, Martin Robeson Delaney.
Yep. Martin Delaney was the one who really truly coined the idea of Pan-Africanism. He was the one, he said, I want to go back there. He was a free black man. He said, I want to go back to Africa because this place holds nothing for me here. And it didn't, because we're not covered under the Constitution, which is supposed to be the law of the land, but it's only for the law of the land for white folks.
And we have to be honest. And I was having a debate this morning. What conversation? The damn immigration. Won't they quit lying and act? Our immigrations are racist when the people coming in. But don't nobody want to believe that. That's like we telling a fairy tale. And I was having that conversation with Trevor this morning. I was like, Trevor, if you don't think what they telling them people, you know the movies that they give that depict us.
Yeah. First of all, it's Birth of a Nation. That's the first one that they forced them to watch.
They do, but see, they don't want to believe that when we talking about immigration. That's what,
because people aren't studied. They're only knowledgeable in what they know. And they're not trying to study a little bit of everything. One thing that my teachers taught, Du Bois is one, Delaney's one, And I say that because I learned from them.
Right.
Dr. John Henry Clark's famous phrase is, "We have no friends."
Mm-hmm.
If we have no friends, then the only people that we have is family, and the only people that we have as friends and family is us.
All right. I think, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I do believe this, that the ruling class, got to be re-educated.
They
And
don't
what
care
I mean-
nothing about it because they know.
Yeah, no. But I mean,
the ruling
one-
class.
the ones under them.
Oh, okay.
They
The-
got
the-
to be
the watchdog.
Yeah, they got to be re-educated on like really what the dynamic on what we going through here. See, they don't want to believe. They still got it in their mind. I'm talking about more the ones that's on our level.
Okay,
poor
but here's the
whites.
deal.
They got to understand like this thing is not, because they in their mind they have, I don't know why they got it, that they be thinking like this shit is not serious. Like our cries are not real.
No, because guess what? Okay, so let me give you an example.
Mhm.
Reason why they built the wall in Wall Street is because they could ignore the cries and the wails and the smells of those people being pulled off the slave ships. And for those of y'all who don't believe that existed, you're foolish. Go check out Aetna Insurance Company. It was one of the and it still exists. It's one of the largest insurance companies in the country that insured not only the shipped but the enslaved. And many times when there were issues, you had the captains would throw captives overboard and report them lost at sea. They jumped overboard. Not that we threw them. Even if they were dead, they would throw them overboard and go and collect an insurance claim.
Mm.
The conspiracy for us is that we have blinders on because
Mhm.
we don't want to go through the hurt and pain. What the hell you think people did to get murdered and beat and raped and all this other stuff? You mean to tell me you want to ignore that? When that's the fabric and the blood that we on the streets that we drive on the sidewalks we walk on the air we breathe, their blood is in part of it. And we want to ignore it. We don't want to say, hey, Mark, that's my brother. Anna C, that's my sister. Concrete Jungle, that's my brother. Whoever. That's family. That's family. And all those other people, and like I see this comment by Mr. Hutchins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Doing the bit, but because they've been told that being black is not a badge of honor, when how in the hell could you not understand that when you're the first people on the planet? And if you believe in anything as a higher being, a higher power that created you first, regardless of the bullshit that Darwin tried to throw at people and say that we did this and we come from that. Well, let's say we do come from apes. Let's say that they are our closest ancestors. Where's the apes at in Europe? Oh, I'm sorry, there are none. You won't find bones. You won't find remains. You won't find anything. And they're highly intelligent animals. But there was one special person, special being that was created out of all of that changed the course of humankind and gave us Homo sapiens sapiens, which is upright man. And we're afraid of that because some clown who was a racist wanted to use that fake ass science that they come up with. But yet, if you read anything by Dr. Shankat Job, he tells you that we started civilization, that the highest civilization that ever was created in the world comes from ancient Kemet. And all the pharaohs and kings and queens there were black folk. The Olmec heads, where you get Mexico, you get the Incas, you get the Aztecs and the Mayans. Who do you think they learned from? The Olmecs. The Olmecs were people who came from the western part of El Kibalan, which we call Africa, and came over and gave civilization to people. The Druids were not white folks. They came and gave civilization to Europe. And we sit around here and act like we're less than.
I mean, because that's what we only know. See, we get like, I'm gonna save for, you know what you gonna be doing. You free? We probably can come on. What you doing Christmas morning?
Nothing.
If not, I'm gonna
wait
sing.
a minute.
Let's see.
You talking about going, taking a quick trip?
What about the 26th?
Nothing in the morning.
We're gonna get back to this, family. You got any last word? We're gonna get back to this.
We have to study. We have to know that God in us is greater than the bullshit that we do.
I got some stuff I want to bring.
For sure.
Got any last words?
Study, fam. Study. Don't believe, as a public enemy will say, don't believe the hype.
For sure.
Okay.
We're gonna come with some stuff.
Don't believe the hype. Don't believe what this insanity that we've been fed. It's a falsity in order to make us conform to something that's not the truth. They are not greater than we are. We gave civilization to the world, and they've done nothing, co-opted and adopted. And on that note,
I'll see y'all right in a second. We'll be right back, family.
all right, fam, peace.
And